Is our Safari Condo Alto R1723 an RVing jewel or junk? Hey folks, Taker from the 6 here, and when we did a walkthrough video about our folding camper 3 years back, we never imagined more than 2.7 million people would watch it, or that we'd have 1,700 plus comments about it. Many of those comments suggested that we made a mistake and our pricey new trailer would leak, fall apart, or worse. Well, we've had it for almost 5 years now. We've rented out the camper 28 times. It has 82,000 kilometers and 330 nights of camping under its belt. So we're ready to definitively answer the question, is it an RVing jewel or junk? To answer this question, we first need to discuss the problems we've had with the camper. And yes, if you're wondering, we have had a few problems along the way, including with the folding roof. Once we've gone through the problems, then we'll talk about the things we don't love and the things we love about the camper. And make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video when we'll reveal, if given the chance to do it all over again, would we buy this trailer again? So the number one prediction in the comments that we would have problems with is the roof. And yes, we did have a minor problem with the roof. And I'm just going to start off describing this problem by saying that the roof has never leaked. The mechanism has never malfunctioned. We've never even had to do the reset adjustment or anything on it. It's just worked the entire 5 years that we've had the camper. So those of you who were predicting that there was going to be major problems with the roof mechanism, you were wrong. However, if you predicted that there might be a minor problem, well, there was, and it was this gasket right here, and it just split right on the corner. And what that meant was when we were driving down the road, a little bit of grime could get up in there just while we were driving. It had no impact on camping at all. It was a bit of a hassle to get it fixed though, so I actually booked an appointment with the dealer. This was of course months in advance, because all of these appointments with dealers these days have to be done months in advance. I told them what needed to be done. There was a couple of other things. There was a recall on the stove, and I was also getting them to do the bearing repack. I actually got the parts from Safari Condo. Safari Condo was awesome. They just sent me the parts right away. There was no issue with that. And then when I got to the dealership, they did the stove, they did the brakes. The only thing they did with this was they actually cut the other side, so now both sides were broken, and they told me that they didn't know how to fix it and that they were going to have to get a hold of Safari Condo to find out what the procedure was, and that they'd get back to me. Well, they never did get back to me, and I just decided, okay, I'm just gonna have to do this myself. So basically you have to replace the entire gasket, and this gasket goes all the way from the very front of the trailer, all the way around to the front of the trailer on the other side and around the back here and everything. So it's a very long gasket. It was a little bit tricky to get it in and out, but was able to do it. And I think what caused the problem was that there's a little triangular piece here that goes in, and it wasn't lining up in the channel quite properly. And I think that's maybe what started the little cut. But in any case, we got the parts for free under warranty, replaced it myself, and we were all set. And that is the only issue that we've had with this roof. Now, I already mentioned it because we got it fixed on that same visit to the dealer to try to get the roof gasket fixed. But the stove had a recall. Suburban had an issue with these stoves where they were actually exploding, kind of. And so it was a pretty simple fix. We got the recall completed at the dealer, have had no issues with the stove before or after the recall was completed. So here we are in the nose of the trailer, and the battery is up here. And the battery was actually the very first problem that we had with the trailer. And believe it or not, only a few days after we picked it up brand new from the dealership, the battery died completely. Now, it wasn't that it was a defective battery. The trailer was actually delivered to us with the converter not plugged in. And so even though the trailer was plugged in, it was never charging the battery. And so basically on our first camping trip, we killed the battery. If we had been a little bit more RV savvy, we might have thought to check to see if the converter was plugged in. But that was something we just assumed that the dealership would take care of. Thankfully, the dealer did cover the cost of the new battery, so that was great. And we were all set once we got that converter plugged in. Now, since that initial battery replacement, we've actually replaced the battery a few more times, not because they were defective, but just because we've upgraded, and we're actually now with a Renogy lithium iron phosphate battery. And we've actually got reviews of a couple of different Renogy lithium iron phosphate batteries on the channel, so you might want to check those out. Stay tuned for another video about all of the upgrades that we've made on the trailer, because we've made a lot of upgrades from what we got it originally. And the next issue was the fan, and the fan became an issue because it just started to squeak and got really noisy. And it turned out it didn't actually need to be repaired. It was just a matter of cleaning the blades because they were covered with grease and with dust and everything. And I guess they were too heavy, and that's why it was making the noise. And so I think it had got a little bit of cooking oil somehow coated on it. And anyway, cleaning that solved the problem. It's another minor little issue, but this spice rack door actually popped off completely. It was just glued to the hinge, and so I guess the glue from the tape actually kind of just wore out because of the heat. And I ended up just kind of MacGyvering some screws to hold it on a little bit better and a little bit more permanently. This brake, for whatever reason, has been really grabby. It's worked fine with the brake controller that we got from the dealership, but it would not work with the CURT wireless brake controller that you can get. And you may or may not realize, but we rent this trailer out, so it's very important that we have a wireless brake controller that we can give to our clients. We got a wireless Takancha brake controller, which is installed on the trailer now permanently, and it solved the problem. Any amount of adjusting and playing around with the actual brakes themselves would not fix this problem, but just having a good brake controller has done the job. Another minor issue that we had was this tab that locks the window into place. It broke off. Thankfully, the plastic piece itself didn't break, just the rivets let go. So I just removed the old rivets and re-riveted it back on to the window, and that was all there was to that problem. And the last little issue we want to talk about is nuts and bolts and screws that get loose or actually come out altogether in the interior. And I think this is something that's very common with a lot of RVs. Now, we actually have this little cup full of screws that have been found on the floor, and we're not sure where they go, but the trailer seems to work fine without them, so we're not too worried about it. And have had some issues with the screws and the cushions coming out because they're hinged so that you can actually open them up to get into the storage underneath them. And the screws that hold those hinges on keep coming out. Now, I will say this, that we took them all out when we reupholstered the trailer, and since then, that's when the problem happened. We didn't really have a problem with them popping out before we loosened them all. Still, you'd think that you should be able to undo these screws and do them back up again without them all falling out. So that would be something that I'd like to see improved on this trailer. Now, in the interests of journalistic fairness, we've talked about the problems that we've had with the trailer. We should also talk about the things that we have not had problems with. So the first one is we've never had a leak. So water has never gotten into the trailer. And I think that is just awesome. Number two, we've never had a problem with the mechanism of the roof. So there's never been an issue with either raising or lowering it, and that's through all of the rentals, through all of the camping that we've done ourselves. Never had an issue with that. We've never lost a day of camping or a rental to a problem with the trailer. So in other words, it's never been stuck in the shop, we've never been waiting for a part, and basically, if we've wanted to go camping, the trailer has been available to go camping. Editor Greg here with one last thing that we definitely had no problem with, and that was the hitch setup from the dealership. The trailer tows beautifully behind our Toyota Venza, and in fact, the car feels more stable with the trailer hooked up. Now, just talking about things that have and have not broken, or things that have been a problem versus things that have not been a problem, is not enough to decide whether you'd buy a trailer again or not. You have to look at the whole ownership experience. So next up, we're going to look at the things that we don't love and the things that we love about this trailer before we answer that final question, would we buy the trailer again? And right now, we're going to look at the things that we don't love. So let's talk about the things that we don't love about this trailer. And I've made a list of them on my phone because it's a lot to just remember off the top of your head. The first one I want to talk about is lack of battery power. So we didn't get any of the optional battery packages on our trailer. We just got a standard 100 amp hour lead acid battery, and that was not enough for us. So we ended up upgrading to a lithium battery. And really, I would say that don't go with the standard battery. Make sure that you go with one of the upgrade batteries. The next thing that we don't love about the trailer is just the fact that when on a rainy day, when all four of us are actually up, so we're not in bed, the trailer feels pretty cramped because there's just not a lot of floor space and everybody's kind of tripping over each other. So if a lot of floor space is something that's important to you, this may not be the best option for you as a camper. The next thing that we don't love is the lack of overhead storage. Now, it's the price that you pay for this cool folding roof, and you get benefits from those roofs, which we'll talk about in the things that we love. But one of the disadvantages of the roof is that there's no overhead storage. Now, the trailer has enough storage, so we've been able to bring everything that we want to bring with us in this trailer, but everything is stored under the benches. So if somebody is sitting on the bench or if somebody is sleeping on the bench, then you can't get at the storage underneath it very easily. And it would just be nice if you had overhead storage, you could get at it very easy. The next thing that we don't love is just the wheel bearing and brake maintenance. Now this is something that I guess maybe you could say, well, that's unfair, because it's something that applies to all towable RVs, where you're going to have to maintain these axles and these brakes and bearings and everything. We've already had to replace the bearings once, and of course every year you're repacking them, and it's just something that you have to stay on top of. I'd love to see a trailer with more of an automotive style sealed bearing so that you could just go without having to worry about that part of the ownership experience. Now, we talked about it in the problems, but it's going to make a reappearance here in the things that I don't love about the trailer, and it is all of these loose screws and having to tighten screws and nuts and bolts and everything. And I just wish that things were a little bit more permanently affixed where they could be, and that they weren't relying so much on screws that just don't seem to want to stay in the holes, and the holes kind of get bigger every time you take the screw out and put the screw in. And so I think, you know, they could look at some of these fastening points and make them a little bit more robust. So that's just my opinion anyway. The last thing that we don't love about this trailer is the small dealer network. So we talked about the experience we had trying to get this roof gasket fixed, where ultimately we just had to do it ourselves, and that was while the trailer was under warranty. I'd love to see more dealers, more opportunity for maintenance. Right now, if you want to get a maintenance appointment, you're looking at several months in advance in order to get it. And then if they don't get the job done on that first appointment, you may be looking at waiting another few months in advance in order to get that next appointment. So I'd love to see more options for service. All right, now it's time to talk about the things that we love about this trailer, and it is a long list, so again, I'm going to be pulling them off of my phone. The first one is the beds are really comfortable for sleeping, and that's because they're large. The lower bunk is 6.5 feet long, and it's more than 36 inches wide. It's basically the size of a normal twin bed. And the upper bunk is just a little bit smaller than that. My kids are tall and they both fit no problem. And that was one of the big reasons why we got this trailer, was because our tall kids would fit in these bunks comfortably. And the back bed is perfect for myself and my wife. I'm 6 feet and I fit, and we have tons of room to kind of spread out and you know, just be comfortable back there. Next up, because the trailer is so small at only 17 feet, it's really easy to tow, it's really easy to park, it's easy to get in and out of gas stations. Even if you want to stop at a McDonald's or whatever, or a restaurant, it's easy to park in most parking lots because you just take up 2 spaces front to back, and just really easy to maneuver. And because when the roof is down, it's so low, it's not impacted nearly as much by trucks going by and crosswinds as a normal travel trailer would be. It's really easy to store. So here I am, I'm sitting in my driveway making this video, and we just store it right here at home. Our garage is actually lower than a standard garage, so we can't get it in the garage. But if you have a standard garage, you can actually put it in the garage. So that is another neat feature of this trailer, easy to store. Next up, if you compare this to, say, a tent trailer, for example, which is sort of similar, it folds down and it's easier to tow and so on. But you don't have that complicated setup that you'd have with a tent trailer. So on this thing, when you get to the campsite, you push one button, the roof opens, and the rain can't get in while you're opening it. It's awesome design that way. So the simplicity of setup when you get to a campsite is another thing that we love a lot. So the next thing we love is just that there's maximum flexibility. So we can have a 2-person dinette at the front, we can have a 4-person dinette at the back, and we talked about the fact that we don't love converting the spaces, but once you've converted it, the fact that you have this is just awesome in a small trailer like this. And yet everybody has a really comfortable bed, so there's no real downside to it other than just having to transform the spaces. Now, although we talked about the lack of overhead storage as something that we didn't love, something that we do love is that the trailer has enough storage. So we can get all of our clothes and everything that we want to bring with us on the inside. The outside storage compartment is just big enough to fit everything that you need for your towing and also for your outdoor activities. So it has just enough storage, and that's something that we love for sure. Next up is the windows. So there's just a huge amount of glass. You get a great view of wherever you're camping. Delilah, my wife, is a little bit claustrophobic, and she really appreciates the fact that when she's sleeping, she's got windows right by her that she can see out of, and it just gives her a little bit more of a feeling of being outside, even though we're actually inside the camper. Next up, we love some of the premium appliances that Safari Condo put in the trailer. First up being the Truma Combi furnace. It works really well. It takes up next to no space. Great as a heater. It's great as a hot water heater. We also love the two-way fridge. We're really sad about the fact that in new trailers, you're probably going to get stuck with a 12-volt fridge because this thing uses virtually no electricity, and it just means with our 200 amp hour lithium battery, we can stay out there for ages because the fridge uses virtually no electricity. We love the fact that in terms of nights lost to breakdowns or maintenance are 0. We've never lost a night of camping. We talked about that in the not problems section, but that is something to love. And we really love the fact that it's easy to get support from Safari Condo. So if you need a part, if you need something from them, they're very responsive. It's very easy to get something shipped out to you quickly. And that's not something that you can say about most manufacturers these days. So something to keep in mind is that Safari Condo does a great job as a manufacturer in their after-sale service, even though we'd love to see more dealers. Editor Greg here again with one more thing we love about the trailer from our video archives. So, unlike most small travel trailers that have a wet bath, typically, you know, you're going to be crouched or you're going to have to sit on the toilet to take a shower. So I'm standing up completely straight, and you can see that I can hold the shower right over top of me while I'm taking a shower. And this is a big selling point for me. I like to have my space. There's also a lot of elbow room in here compared to some. So there's just a lot of space. And even, you know, if your elbow needs to go a little bit wider because it's just a shower curtain around you, you can actually move your arms out and it's just going to push the shower curtain out a little bit. In terms of space in the bathroom, it's actually a big selling point for this trailer. And that's it for the things that we love about this trailer. So we've gone through the problems, we've gone through the things we haven't had problems with, what we don't love, and what we love about this trailer. Would we buy it again? Yes, we would. Absolutely no question about it. We really love this trailer. We love the fact that it's super comfortable for all 4 of us to sleep in. We love the fact that it's easy to tow. We get decent gas mileage when we're towing with it. And we think that the pros highly outweigh the cons. And in terms of the amount of problems and the severity of the problems that we've had, they just haven't been that big of a deal. And I think, you know, they haven't ever caused us to lose a night of camping. And so I'm definitely giving it 2 thumbs up and saying, yes, we would buy a Safari Condo R1723 again in a heartbeat. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please think about subscribing. I'll leave links to some of our other gear reviews up on the screen. Definitely check those out. I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.